What's up, guys? Welcome to a new series which could go on for a long time, or it could go on for, like, I don't know, 10 episodes or something like that. We'll end up seeing. But anyway, this is Sunless Sea, Zubmariner edition, with a Z, obviously. Now, this is a game that came out, 2-3 years ago? Anyway, it is... Well, I'll explain some of this on the loading screen. The loading screen's a little long, but it is a top-down, story-driven adventure game where you pilot a ship throughout this mysterious place called the Unterzee. Now, this takes place in an alternate timeline, obviously, where I think it's like bats or something like that come and sink London to the bottom of the ocean or something, and it's in the middle of a cave, and there's this whole story that went along with it. We'll find out more about the lore and some of that as we're playing, but yeah, I've been watching videos on this for quite a while. It's been out on PC for a long time now, in beta and all that, and it came out, I don't know, a year or two ago, but I've been looking forward to it for consoles, and they just announced not that long ago that it was coming out for PlayStation 4. I actually just found out about it a couple days ago, and I was really excited when I heard that it was actually coming out. So, I picked it up and decided to play it. Now, there's a lot of reading in this game, so if that's something that'll turn you off, then you may not like this game. But if you like a game with a good sense of mystery and exploration, then there's definitely going to be something here for you. Now, as far as watching the game is concerned, I mentioned it a little earlier, but it is a very slow game. There's a lot of going around and talking and, you know, all that. It's not a very action-packed game. There is going to be some action, there is combat in the game, and it is real-time. And yeah, you'll see, but yeah. Okay. Captain's making. 3 decades ago, in the reign of Victoria, London was stolen by bats. Now it lies a mile below the surface. It was dreadfully inconvenient for everyone, but it opened a vast black ocean to you. Welcome to the Unterzee. So, yeah, a lot of the game is going to be told through this journal, where we read things and all that. So yeah, not a lot of the game is going to be us going around and fighting a bunch of stuff, because that's how you die. Now, yeah. Okay, so, first off, we get to choose a past, or we could just not choose a past. I'm going to be choosing a past. Okay, you now lodge in a room above the blind helmsman. That's an inn-type area. So, who were you? Now you're a captain. Now you belong to the Unterzee. But who were you before? Okay, so you can choose different things, and this will determine your starting officers and also what bonuses do you get to your stats. So we can say that our past was a street urchin, a poet, a veteran of the campaign of 68, an ordained priest, or a natural philosopher. I have played this for probably, I don't know, an hour or two to kind of wrap my head around it, just to see if it would be something I'd want to play on stream, or if it would be something that I want to play by myself. I decided to stream a little bit of it, so we'll see how this goes. I don't know if this is going to be terribly popular on the channel, but I hope you guys like it, because I like it so far. It's a lot of fun. You can get very invested in some of the lore that you can read. But anyway. Okay, so we can get a bonus to Veils, the skill of subtlety and evasion. We can get a bonus to Pages, the skill of trickery and knowledge. We can get a bonus to Iron, the skill of causing direct damage. A bonus to Hearts, the skill of healing and morale. Or we could get a bonus to Mirrors, the skill of detection and perception. I've done Philosopher, and I've done Street Urchin. I think I'm going to go with Poet this time. Educated and articulate, you seek sensation at sea. How lucky you had a legacy to spend. Your long-vanished father had a rich patron, it seems. Huh. Okay. Alright, so yeah, let's go with that. Okay, a wise soul. Experience. You have intuition, and your friend, the sly navigator. He's a little vague, but he knows what he's doing. Perhaps you can find someone better eventually. So, we got ourselves a navigator. So I'm a struggling poet, now I'm a Z captain. They replace S with Z a lot of the time in this game. It's okay. So, we got some echoes. We got 25 pages, so our new stat for our pages is at 50. And we also get the slide navigator. Alright. So, now we have to choose an ambition, why we're doing this, and what winning means to us. This is the victory conditions for the game itself. So, we've got your father's bones. Your father was lost at Z. You never knew him, but you've often dreamed of him. Find and return his remains to London for a decent burial. And there's immortality. I think this has to do with the Zubmarine expansion to the game, because we need this thing unlocked with Under the Unterzee. One. You have one? Okay. Let's see. Fulfillment. Gather 100 tales. Learn all you can of the Z. Write a masterpiece. Retire. Not bad. Wealth. You know how it is to be poor. Now you want a mansion, servants, fine clothes, and a family, perhaps. Private kingdom. Establish a colony where you are absolute ruler. A utopia, perhaps. Perhaps. You can't choose this now, but you may find an opportunity to switch to it later in the game. I have no idea how to get this. You need Impossible 1. I have no idea how to get that. So, what do we want to do? Do we want to go on a quest to return our father's remains? Bury them? Do we want immortality? Fulfillment? Wealth? As of right now, it doesn't super matter what I pick, and you'll understand when I go into it in a little bit, but let's just go with immortality. Tall tales. The presbyabite, there's gonna be a lot of words that I'm gonna struggle with. But anyway, the guards, let's see. Guards its secrets fiercely, but amidst the clamor and beer stains of the blind helmsman, a salt-scarred navigator is telling tales of the continent's deepest interior, of a city called Nida, and the origins of the presbyter's long life. Where is he getting his information? Bring wine, he is susceptible to wine. You will find the navigator and your first clue in London. An occurrence, your objective, ambition, quality is now. Liberate the secret of immortality. Okay. So, now we get to choose how we are referred. This, as far as I can tell, has no bearing on the actual game. So we're just going to go with Captain. There we go. Alright. Captain it is. A last piece of advice. Explore. Take chances. This captain will probably die. The Z is hungry, but each captain passes on lessons to the next. Okay. Not bad. So now we can choose a portrait. I'm going to pick this dude right here because I like the little steel diver thing. Alright, then we will be Zanzibar. There we go. Accept. Okay, so as I had mentioned earlier, a lot of this game is going to take place in our journal here. So this is how we go to town, talk to people, gain new information, get advice, all sorts of things. We've also got other tabs here. We've got our hold, so we can see what we've got as far as cargo, fuel, various curiosities. This is interesting. This is the Invictus token. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. You are in unforgiving mode with no save slots besides the basic autosave. You will lose this token if you switch from unforgiving to merciful mode. And the way that you switch this is you just save manually. As it is right now, we can only save if we go to a port. So if we're about to fight something big, we gotta dedicate to that fight. Alright, so we've got a deck slot, auxiliary bridge, and engines. We don't have forward or aft. That's fine. Alright. Our journal. This just goes over some of our objectives, memoirs, things like that. Our officers. So this is our Sly Navigator. He's the guy that we got because we chose Poet. We can actually just talk to him. Now, if we can get a secret, secrets are current. You can kind of think of them as a resource, not so much a currency, as a resource. That you gain upon, quote-unquote, leveling up. I don't know. You don't really level in this game, but that's the easiest way for me to put it, because you end up, as you discover things, you gain these things called fragments, and when you gain enough fragments, the little bar on the left-hand side above where your logbook is, that little gray part, it'll fill up, and then you'll gain a secret. You can spend those secrets at various places. So we can talk to our navigator and see what he says. The Z is enough, but now you mention it. I have always had a desire to see Frostbound, the place where the Z rises to become a castle, the place where questions and riddles do battle for truth. He sighs dreamily, but he is watching you carefully. Yes, Frostbound. Okay, Frostbound can be found in the very north of the Z. Interesting. Interesting. So he's got his own little quest that he wants to go on, but it's not explicitly something we have to do. As they mentioned earlier, we can end up getting different crewmen, so we don't have to stick with this guy if we don't want to. I mean, he only gives us, what, like, one to our mirrors? Yeah. Then there's shops that you can go to at most ports, have a shop of some type. Then there's the shipyard. This is where you purchase different ships. There's a lot of different ships. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue with the story, and we'll see what's going on. So, ambition. Death hath no more dominion. So, this one we need cask of mushroom wine in order to get more tales from him. So, I'm going to try and not read the little flavor text until I can actually do the thing. Because I want to. Okay, so this is the tutorial. This will tell you a little bit more about how to do basic things in the game. But if you're just starting out and you read them all and you get it all, then you can come straight down to the bottom here and you can sell the book. Get yourself a free 50 echoes. So, since I've already played for a little bit, and I'll explain some of these things to you guys as we're playing. It's fine. Okay, so a passenger. Someone in the docks wants to board your ship. Okay. So, agree to carry the gnomic Gallivant to the, I don't know if that's Sumayan Canal or Cumian Canal. I don't know. I'm going to say Sumayan. Sumayan Canal or the Iron and Misery Funging Station. Or both. History is a horse. Alright. Who will prick it with their spurs? He cries to no one in particular. A drop of blood may be as precious as a ruby. So yeah, let's go ahead and pick this dude up. Okay. Welcome aboard. He puffs out his chest. Ruby studs gleaming in the lamplight. I knew London had enterprising souls still left in it. I am seeking truths, Captain, which, I am told, I may find in the Iron and Misery Funging Station, and the Suman, I don't know what that word is. Kumayan Canal? Whatever. Ideally, I'd learn both, but I could settle for one. For at Port Cecil there will be a contest, and we will change the world with a game of chess. A king will fall. Okay. So we can go to both these places, or just one of them. It all depends. We're going to probably try and go to both. We'll see. Alright, so, London. There's various places that you can go to in London. You can go to the Admiralty's Survey Office. That's where you can turn in port reports. I'll go into port reports later. You can go to the university. You can go to the docks. You can hire on more crew. Or you can go to the dry dock and fix your ship up. One option you could do pretty frequently is offer passage to a tomb colonist. That's this one right here. We're going to go ahead and do this. What this does is, well, heck, I'll just read it. It's oddly difficult to die and fall in London, but when a Londoner is too tatty and wretched to live, they wrap themselves in bandages and take ship for the tomb colonies. Your crew cart these ones aboard in padded coffins. They'll sleep there until the journey is done. So, tomb colonist is in my hold, and then I can take them north to the colony of Vinderbite and sell them there. So it's pretty important that you pay attention to a lot of the text in this game, because they will actually tell you whereabouts to go for specific things. This one says, take them north. So we're going to be going north. And, yeah. Alright, so we can go to our lodgings. Let's see, we can read the morning papers. News from home. The Echo Bazaar, the enigmatic marketplace, has increased its taxes on love stories. The traitor Empress has forbidden singing in the street outside her palace. Alright. The anarchists of the Calendar Council have inexplicably dynamited a drinking fountain. Reasons. The Ministry of Public Decency has located and destroyed a nest of gallbladder wasps. Okay. Now we have one of this. Recent news. So, most of the time, you're dealing in resources in this game. Let's see if I can show some of these. So, we've got this right here, recent news. That's just basically us carrying word to various locations, and we can trade in that news for things and stuff. So, let's go ahead and close this by hitting square. And this is what the main game will look like, other than reading. So, we'll hit X to launch. We will click L3 to turn off our light, because using our light actually expends fuel, which sucks, but it is useful for targeting enemies in combat, and also helping to reduce the gain of terror as far as I can tell, other than taking port or killing enemies and, other little things like that, there's no way to reduce terror. But terror is something we can go into a little bit later. But as it is, we will hit up on the D-pad to change our engine speed, and we will begin going north. We're going to probably stick fairly close to the coast for now. Oh yeah, if you hit the touchpad, you can see your little map. Is that loud? I feel like the audio might be a little loud. There we go. So as you can see, we can only save when we're docked. That's nice, I guess. Oh, let's turn that off. Well, no, I can talk about it. So if you hit X, you will enter combat mode. Now you see the little red semicircle there? That's our targeting radius for our gun that we have available. I am being watched. Okay. The logbook on the bottom right has a lot of information, which is very useful. We can open that up and actually check it out. Okay, journal, officers, shops, settings ale, movement, terror. Okay, this is something that we can talk about. Okay, when you see green running lights on the ship, you're in the dark, and your crew's terror will increase. Watch the pips on the terror indicator. It increases faster when you're far from land. Don't let it reach 100. So, what it's referring to is, if you look on the top left-hand corner, that's our main UI that we're going to be looking at. The top meter is our fuel. The little number is the remaining fuel that we have. So we have 9 reserves of fuel. Every single reserve of fuel costs that bar. And then we've got our hunger, which is also tied to our supplies. Whenever our hunger, the little red bar on the left-hand side, reaches the middle, it will use one of our supplies. If we're out of supplies, I assume, I haven't done this yet, but I assume the little red meter will go past the bar and then go all the way to the right, and then, I don't know, you'll starve to death or something. You'll start losing crew. Now, the third little meter that you'll see there is the terror indicator. You see the 2 little red pips there in the corner, or around the little thing? When that fills all the way up, you will then gain, I believe it's 1 terror. This goes from 1 to 100 as far as the terror indicator is concerned. Just go ahead and watch that as we're playing, and you'll pick it up. It's fairly obvious. There's 3 different colors that you'll see. There's red, yellow, and green. Red fills up really quickly. Yellow, still quickly, but not as quickly. And then green actively goes down, but it won't reduce your terror. It'll just make it so that you don't actively gain terror. And there's a couple ways you can do that. The most common is to be, say, next to a landmass with your light on. Because light will, that'll help reduce the rate of terror. As you can see here in the little tool prompt. It says your prow light can be turned on and off with the L3 button. Leaving it on reduces the rate at which you gain terror, but makes you more visible to enemies. So, it is actually recommended to be close to shore. So as you can see, the little pips are yellow now, and that's actually an enemy cruiser there on the right. We could try to fight him. So what I just did is clicked R3 to sound my horn. You don't actually want to do that. I just clicked the wrong button. So we could actually probably fight this guy. We just gotta get around him. So let's go ahead and take a shot. It's gonna take us 3 shots to take him out. We want to try and stay behind him, out of the radius of his guns. And turning actually is a lot easier if you slow down. We did it. Alright, that was relatively easy. Okay, so Loot and Scuttler, she's a vile old vessel, and the Z's aren't safe. Take what you can and move on. Alright, what do we get? Okay. Lean pickings. Alright. These pinasses? Pinakis? I don't know. Pinasses don't sail far from their hidden harbors, but here's something at the back of the hold. You have finished opening a cache of curiosities. A bolt of fabric. Okay. Cool. Parabola is the serpent palace behind mirrors, or someone made that up. But in that case, Where do they weave this silk and ambery glimmering cloth? Okay. So we have gotten a bale of parabola linen. Okay. Cool. So let's go ahead and exit combat and continue on. Davies Bay. So anytime you discover any of these little locations, you will gain fragments. I mentioned this earlier, but if you look in the bottom left-hand corner, right above our logbook, let me get this first, you will see that little yellow meter is starting to raise. As we've been discovering locations, like Davies Bay, for instance, we've, well, there's one right there. We've discovered Carissa's Point, so we've gained 50 fragments. Okay, we found Hornman's Stag. And then I think this one over on the left is also a location, so we'll go ahead and zip on over there real quick. Yeah. Tana Chuk. Alright. Distant Bells. Alright, so here is a Vinderbite. The trouble with tomb colonists. You've brought this decaying immigrant north. Now what? Days of shrooms and roses. The new tomb colonist surveys Vinderbite, shaking her head. It won't do, she says. It won't do at all. Okay, a plan. I had no idea this place would be quite so unprepossessing. Perhaps we can liven it up a little yet. If only I knew a helpful Z captain. Bring 10 units of mushroom wine to Vinderbite and perhaps they'll have something for you. Okay, so I can purchase some mushroom wine from somewhere. Give them that. I don't think you can buy it from... no, you can't buy it here. You can sell it here. Alright, what do we have here? I can sell my recent news, but I wouldn't recommend that. Unless you're really hard up and you need, like, a fuel now. So I would recommend just holding on to that. But, here's something else that I can explain for you guys. Whenever you go to any place, Vinderbite, you know, some other locations, you always want to look for... Where is it? It's going to be something like gather gossip, or however they word it. It'll be gather gossip, you know, get a port report, something like that. But sometimes there are stipulations for it, sometimes there aren't. In this instance, all we have to do is just gather gossip. So, who's plotting what out in the tomb colonies? So, along the coasts of the Unterzee, it's remarkably hard to die. The decrepit, nearly dead who leave London become tomb colonists and settle here in bandaged peace. But they don't give up their ties to home or their politics. You gather a haul of complex clues, enough to keep your contacts in London interested. Now I have one port report for Vinderbite. So, when we get back to London, we'll go ahead and turn that in, and you can see what some of the other stuff we can do with that is. So, can we do anything else here? We can explore Vinderbite. Here they favor candlelight over gaslight. The shadows are swagged with cobwebs. The tomb colonists stand still enough to be mistaken for sculpture until they laugh or cough. One building in 3 seems abandoned, so let's go ahead and explore. Okay, continue. A raggedy fellow. Captain, I'm a good seaman. I'm yours if you'll have me. Will you have me? I'm hungry. I'll work hard. He seems likely enough, if a little ragged and sorrowful. Okay. Take him with you. You could use an extra hand. Is he just a crew? Yeah, he's just a crew. Okay. Strangers are too chancy. You've heard stories of things in the shape of sailors, or just don't like his face, okay? We'll go ahead and take him. What's the worst that can happen? So what does this? Unlock when a new face is, and then nothing. Okay. So yeah, sure, we'll take him. Okay, all the way back to the ship, he talks excitedly about the Zeeman's craft. You start paying attention when he mentions navigational tricks you hadn't come across. With luck, he'll work as hard as he talks. There may be further effects from this decision. Okay, so we've actually gained new veils, which is good. That's a new stat increase. It's very nice. Okay, I think that was all we could do here. We can visit the first curator. Z Captains, the first curator gives audience. The first curator is responsible for the preservation of the tomb colonies. It has been here much longer than London, like all the oldest tomb colonists. But even tomb colonists dissolve in the end. Its time is close. Okay. So, no more light. The obsequious steward cautions you? Man, these words. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of those. The curator is terribly afraid of moths. He opens the door, and you step into near darkness. That's why there's no picture, because it's in the middle of the dark. A pair of luminous lamplighter bees buzz in a latticed ivory tube. There is no other source of light. A bandaged shape no larger than a child lies crumpled on a couch. It lifts its head with obvious effort. It takes several seconds for you to distinguish its voice from the soft buzz of the bees. So we can listen to the request, ask about the Grand Sanatorium, or accept the commission. Or we can just get out of here. See, Captain. Silkskin. I almost said Zilkskin. I'm so used to putting Z's where my S's are. Not much left of me. I will go into the Grand Sanatorium. Bring me colors. Or couleurs. 7 colors. Pay well. Alright. Cosmogon, Irigo, Pelican. Steward has list. Find them here and there across the wide Black Sea. So yeah, we'll go ahead and do this. Alright, no more words. It collapses, rustling, back onto the couch. Even the effort of speaking seems to have diminished it a little. The audience is over. As the door opens, it shrinks from the finger of light that reaches across the floor. Outside, the obsequious steward nods. The book? Yes, the book. He hands you a slim illustrated novel. The curator is old as dust. We will all be grateful if you do this one last favor. Okay, so we now have this page from the Neathbow. Okay, and then this is the various colors we have to get. I have not found any of those yet, so I have no idea what to do. Alright, so let's go ahead and get out of here. Okay, so let's check out... There's actually some bats ahead of us. But let's check out and see if maybe we can see something involving that thing we just picked up. Alright, 7 of the impossible colors in the hand. Okay. Let's see. Awakes Aposian. The blue of memory and brightest coral. Okay. Sea lights. Cosmogon, the color of remembered suns. The fecund and fotid, the fungal. These flourish in the glows of Cosmogon. Interesting. Yeah, I have no idea what any of this means. So, that's gonna be fun. Alright. What do we have for objectives right now? So we gotta bring wine to them. And Ruby, we still have to take places, and okay. Again, we will turn off our light. Where did those bats go? Oh, there they are. Alright, let's back up, actually. Ah, we got hit. Okay. Kind of hoping we could avoid that, but we were in kind of a bad position for that combat, so it is what it is. Okay, so we can dispose of the corpses, or we can gather the corpses. If you gather them, you will gain food. If you dispose of them, it will slightly reduce terror. We will gather up the corpses. Okay, so we gained 1 new supply. We actually gained 1 terror, but that's fine. Alright. So, anything special? Not really. Well, let's close down combat and keep on going. So there's one other thing that you need to know about traveling. It's if you press circle, you can throw out your bat, which is your Z-bat. And then if there's an island nearby, it will actually tell you about it. Try to tell you about it. What do we get here? Okay, so it's just telling us about ports and docking. So, every once in a while, you want to just go ahead and send your bat out. That way you can gain a little bit more information. Also, there's a fog bank coming up. If we go into this, it will make it harder to actually do combat. Oh, see that thing over to the right? That thing is danger. It's a lifeberg. I've managed to kill one, but it was not easy. Found Censor's Arch. Ah, Wither. Some distance to the north. Let's see if we can locate that. You always want to go to as many ports as possible when you're out. And if you look on the map, you can see there's a little bat icon up there. That is showing us where the location will be. Endergard Harbor, okay. Let's go ahead and slow down the engine a little bit, get on in here, and get our another port report. Okay. Behind the great arch over the bay, the pale wastes stretch, white and silent as the face of the moon. From here, you might almost imagine they were snow. North of the city, the salt pools fizz with unlikely color. Color, you say? Go on. So we can explore the town, we can gather intelligence, or we can do some shore leaving with her. Let's go ahead and gather intelligence. The citizens of Wither enjoy questions, so much so that they always answer a question with another question. This can make intelligence gathering frustrating. Okay. Are you asking for any particular reason? At what time of day? Is that your hat? Might it be 6? It could be 6. Eventually you cobble together enough implication and supposition to compose a report. So this is how we get our port report for Wither. We might as well explore. Okay. Wither is a quiet, chilly town of gray stone and closed courtyards. The people are neither exactly unfriendly nor exactly hospitable. They have the irritating habit of answering a question with a question. Here and there are odd sights tucked away. Okay. An intriguing smell. Who will try? Who will buy? A street vendor turns skewers on a grill. They make sense. The mixed scents are nothing like anything sold in London. So you can try the grilled troglodyte prawns. Let's see, if we had menaces unaccountably peckish. I have no idea what that means. Maybe when we get really, really hungry or something. I don't know. Then there's also try something mysterious, but we have very little hearts, so we can't really do these challenges. We would most doubtedly fail. So we're going to go ahead and skip those and just go for the grilled troglodyte prawns. Okay, huge and pale, their eyes stare bleakly into yours, but they smell fresh. Not bad at all, tangy and toothsome. Walk on, chewing carefully, or cheerfully. Okay, so I've lost 2 terror, that's good. Now I have 1 fragment, okay. I've lost 5 hunger. Cool, and that's it. Okay. Alright, was there anything else we could do? We could do shore leave. Let's see, 78% chance of success. Folk of Wither are quiet and shy and mystical. They subsist on cavefish and the dust-burrowing beasts of the waste. Their beer, however, is adequate. So what would this cost? 50 echoes? I don't think we need to. Our terror isn't too bad. But I accidentally did it anyway, and we did it, so we didn't fail. That's good, although I didn't want to lose the echoes. Oh well. Keep a low profile. Your crew follow your example faithfully. One drinks a little too much pale Withern beer and has to be fished from the harbor, but they spend a relatively decorous night gambling for salt and bone and return refreshed. Alright. Whatever. We got rid of some terror, I think. No big deal. Would have rather have not done it. Accidentally hit X, though. Whatever. That's fine. Anyway, as far as a first look at Sunless Sea, Zubmariner edition is concerned, I think that's going to do it. I don't know how many episodes I'm going to do for this. I might do, like, I don't know, 5 or 10, something like that, just so you guys can get a look at how some of the game is. I'll probably end up dying, so you can see what it's like to restart and all that. Yeah, if you guys do like the series, though, please let me know and I'll continue. Depending on the views that I get from this initial episode, I'll definitely be more interested in doing more. But anyway, I will catch you all later. Thank you for watching. If you're watching on the stream, stick around. I'm going to keep playing. But anyway, bye-bye.